Hey peeps, Amy here, and I am in my outside studio, and I'm on my lanai, and I'm going to hoop just a little bit with you today, and I want to share a few things I'm grateful for, because I truly am grateful for the family that I have, and the hula hoop, the lanai, the space that I have. I know that sounds all kind of like, light, trivial, but I'm so grateful for hula hooping, and now I'll just share a little bit about that while I hula hoop. And hey, you may see some golf carts going by, and they are doing distance golfing, which means if there's a foursome, literally 4 carts pull up. And I don't know all the rules and regs because I am not a member of the golf course, but I do know that distance golfing is what's happening. And it is certainly helping some people pass the time away when they can ride around in the golf cart with the one that they love and play a little golf outside away from everybody. And I hope that is a safe thing for people to do. And otherwise, we've been doing some biking in the neighborhood and getting a little more exercise in than normal. So that may be the case. I'm going to bring my dog out here because she likes to be out here with me, although she's not really sure what's happening. Do you want to come out, Bean? Come on, Miss Bean. At the very beginning, you saw a picture of her. I may drop it in. But right now, I am hula hooping, and I am with you. Let me scoot this over. Woof! The dog's like, what are you doing, Mom? So it is about 5:08. I'm going to hoop for 15 minutes, and I'm going to hang out with you. So a big shout out to my WAHLS peeps. Hello, WAHLS peeps. I hope this finds you well, and what you will note if you go to my YouTube channel is that I have 2 other videos that are about 15 minutes that you can hoop with me. Right now I'm not doing a class of any kind. My whole goal for the last few days was to get in my hoop and get videos out there, and I am feeling really short and low on hooping as far as that goes. I haven't been doing as much, although I've been getting on my bicycle, yay, and going out with my husband, yay, and connecting with the fam, yay, but I have not gotten as much exercise in my hula hoop as I normally get, because normally I have a class on Tuesday, that's TRX, Wednesday I do a hula hoop class, and sometimes I do 2 classes on Wednesdays because I also go to Health Fit and teach there, and then on Thursday I have a TRX class in the morning, Friday I have a hula hoop class in the morning, and Thursday afternoon I do a class with Ringling College, which I go out there with Health Fit, so that's my week usually, and then on Saturday I end the week with the retirement community. Sometimes I hoop with the independent living peoples, and then I work with memory care and assisted, and I just love that, and I can't see them right now. And then my library classes have all been canceled as well, and I do event classes. I wrote and created the programming for those classes, and I love working with children, and that's because my career prior to having my youngest, Cassie, who is now a senior, was education. And so when I first started hula hooping, for me it was just all about my exercise, then it was about sharing the hula hoop, and then I started thinking about the fact that I really want kids moving and out of screens and enjoying life that way. So my whole goal in sharing hula hooping with kids and games and activities is just that. Games, activities, and fun with kids. And so right now, all of that is on hold. And so I'm hooping with you online as much as I can. And I'm thinking about new things to kind of focus on so I can stay happy and excited. Right now, I have become the germaphobe in the house. I've never, ever, ever been the germaphobe. That was like my youngest. She was like, I need to clean this, I need to clean that. My husband was always Mr. Purell. And now I am the one who's like going, can you wash your hands again? Can you please make sure we get that cleaned? And I don't want people bringing boxes to my house. I don't want things delivered, which is why I'm not making any hoops right now, because I don't want boxes to come to my house. Likewise, I don't want to be sending anything out that requires 2 things. 1, that I would actually have to package it up to ship it out, and 2, I might have to go somewhere or somebody would have to come pick it up, and I don't want that. So my brain is like, so I'm really grateful for apps like Calm So I listen to that every night, and I do some breathing, and I listen to stories that are not CNN, although I like getting news from CNN, don't get me wrong. However, I need some calmness in life. I've been getting in my pool a little bit more, but I won't spend the money right now to heat my pool. So it is super refreshing, but we do know that cold water is actually really good for your immune system, so yay. Through all of this, I am getting some super quality time with my dog, who's super cute, and she's laying over there just watching. She doesn't want to be near the hoop. And then I'm getting quality time with my husband. I'm actually working more in his recruiting business because our employees are now working remote, and I can actually help answer the phones because of how we're set up here. We've actually been remote from our Chicago office for years now. However, right now I kind of am jumping in a little bit more and helping out than I was, because usually I'm running in the house, dropping my hula hoops, taking the dog for a walk, or something like that on a daily basis, and I'm not doing that right now. So maybe I should just go out and like load the car with my hula hoops and then unload them so I feel like I'm still functioning like that. That'd be kind of a funny little ritual, right? But I will get back to the business of making hoops, and I'm actually really excited about that, because not only do I want to make hoops, I want to make sure I'm getting them out to people. It has not usually been much of my business, but right now I'm thinking that as I'm doing these, people are going to be like wanting hoops and being able to do it. So hey, if you are home and you don't have a hula hoop, but you are standing, even if you're one of my WAHLS people and you've got your hands on a walker or a chair or something like that, your movements for hula hooping are this: side to side. So you can practice that side to side movement, right? With your hands out here, keeping balance. The other movement for a hula hoop is a swivel, groovy swivel. That makes you the grooviest person in the room you're in right now if you're doing a groovy swivel, either direction. Whoop, whoop. Otherwise, the third movement is kind of that front to back movement. And there's no right or wrong, it's whatever works to keep the hoop up for you. So I'm going to go back to hooping right now. People always say, you look like you're barely moving, Amy. Well, I've practiced a little. When I first started, I was picking up my hoop and pushing it. That's it, because I couldn't do it. I would put my cane against the wall, and then I would try to hoop, and that was it. And I actually was hooping a little bit before I was diagnosed with MS. What just happened to my camera? That's going to make me sad. Ooh. It says it's recording. I'm going with that. So I don't know if the light sort of shifted on this. That might have been it, because the sun is starting to drop a little and it's getting a little brighter in here. My hurricane shutters are down, so you can actually see outside a little bit. I thought you might like that. For those of you who are maybe in a cold, dreary place, maybe I'll give you a little sunshine today. Here, have some of my sunshine. You're welcome. I forgot what I was saying, and I've actually retaped this a couple of times today because this wasn't right or that wasn't right, or I was trying to be up but I was down, because we're really all navigating new things. So anyhow, I'm moving in my hoop today. Those are my normal classes and the things that I normally do. My dog's out here. She is a floppy mess because she needs a haircut, but she's adorable, and I just love her. And she's actually kind of brightening up our days quite a bit. And I love seeing my daughter. I've seen my youngest more in the last 2 weeks than I think I've seen for her entire high school years. I know, don't touch your face. I've washed my hands recently. Oh, I was saying how I'm now the germaphobe, but I think about these things. My nails are going to be in great shape because I am pretty much no longer biting them, and I'm leaving them alone. Ha! That's amazing. I am very grateful that my husband has stocked me up on kombucha, and I have my GTS kombucha to make me happy. I'm going to turn my hoop the other direction. I'm feeling a little frumpy today. I can't lie, because I feel like I have not been exercising enough. Although Rich and I have really been out on our bikes, so I was thinking, ooh, the cardio is going to be awesome. But I think being home more, I'm actually eating more food. We're stocked up too, which is good. It's super good because I like really don't want to go out now. For me to go out even on the driveway or for a walk right now, I think today is a little more so than any other day. I don't know why, but it is. But hey, thanks for bringing me into your living room and having me hang out with you, or your backyard, or your lanai, or your deck, or wherever it is you just popped open your device and said, let's hoop, Amy. Or wherever you put your hands down and said, I'm going to swivel my hips and move with you, Amy. I can kind of consider hula hooping like that. You know, like when you see somebody holding a baby and they're doing the baby sway and you just suddenly start doing the baby sway. So you can do that same movement, all right? And then we'll get you ready for the hoop when I'm ready to ship them all out. So one of the things I always said I was grateful for, and I actually got an email today from somebody who said, I think I mentioned, I posted out 2 other 15-minute videos, Hoop with Amy. Do it, you can do it. They're on my YouTube channel. All that information will be with this link. You can just go to my other videos, but for those of you getting this email or seeing it on Facebook, I'll make sure you have the link, okay? But I got an email from 2 different people today. One who said she's super grateful I did the videos because she's getting fat at home. And she happens to be a person who does need to go out to work as an essential personnel. And so that's super stressful. You got to go out, you got to do stuff, you get home, you got to be inside. Just, wow, I can't even imagine. And I'm so grateful for any of our first responders, any of our emergency people, all those people who are working to keep us safe. And I hope and pray that our curve, this flattening of the curve goes down so that we can somehow manage to get by and eventually go back to whatever our new normal life is. And I say new normal because I don't think it'll ever be the same after this. It'll be whatever the new normal is for us. And I don't know how soon that's going to be, peeps. But I do know I'm going to keep hula hooping until then. Because my new normal is getting out here and hula hooping and then sharing it with you. Whoop, whoop. And in the process, I will be sharing some bits and pieces about making hoops too, because you can Google how to make a hoop and you don't need me. You could make one and then you can get some pretty tapes yourself. And I'll give you some tips on that, because really, I just want you hula hooping. That's all I want. I want people moving and enjoying and laughing. For arm hoops, you can buy cheap hoops at the dollar store, or maybe you can order some online. For the kids, I usually use the really inexpensive dollar store ones because they get trashed every summer when I do my kid classes. Otherwise, I don't really know what's available right now in the world, but we're going to get through it together. That's right. Okay, so back to hooping today. Things I'm grateful for. I'm really grateful for this community that I'm specifically posting this out to the WAHLS folks, but anyone who's not part of the WAHLS community and doesn't understand what I'm talking about, I was diagnosed with MS in 2012, and at that point I mentioned I was literally picking up the hoop, pushing it around, and trying to hula hoop because I couldn't. And I was convinced that hula hooping was going to get my core stronger, and I believe that it did. And a big part of my health journey is not just the hula hoop. I'd love to say it's all the hula hoop. It is really about food and eating the right foods, which is why during this time of being home with my family and in this health crisis that the world is facing, food really matters. And I'm sticking to that. I'm sticking to my good foods. Interestingly, looking for some of the things I was looking for at the grocery store, nobody buys them. Nobody buys the gluten-free this or the gluten-free that. And of course, gluten-free does not always mean healthy. But I am substituting and using some of the gluten-free foods because I'm not too sure how much I want to handle some of the other stuff, because I don't know how much it's been handled, and that's too much for my brain to think about, and I'm sure you're feeling much the same way. So, food matters, and it still matters. It probably even matters even more so right now, today, because if you're anything like me, you live with some kind of maybe health issue. So, that's, in any case, that's it. I'm rambling, I know it. And I've still got this hula hoop going, so that's really the goal, is to keep the hoop going. So my whole life has changed right now, which I think as warriors, we have a way of somehow just kind of kicking through it because, you know, for anybody who was diagnosed with an illness like MS or anything else, you know, there was a point in time where somebody said, so here's your diagnosis, here's what's going on, and you know, the doctor was looking at you, talking away, and you're like, I see your lips moving, but I don't hear what you're saying, because suddenly you knew life was never going to be quite the same again. So I'm thinking, if anything else, we are super resilient people, which that means we have a kind of a leg up on resiliency, right? I don't know if that's true, but I like to think so. And anyhow, I had another person reach out to me via MS Circles, and she actually has a daughter who is working with some research and asked if I would connect with that person. And I thought, wasn't that an interesting thing to get in my email today? And that's what started me thinking about why I'm so grateful that I can hula hoop, that I can share my story. And one of the things I said in the story that I sent off in this email to this person that I did not know, but I was introduced to, was that one of the things that, you know, I work with these young kids, and one of the things that I hope and pray is that if any of these young kids, plus whenever I work with young kids, I always tell my story, because then if there's any adults who kind of hear my story, maybe they'll be like, oh, maybe I can do this, maybe I can do that, or maybe it wasn't the end of the world when somebody told me this, or maybe my mom can. And I hear that a lot about different people and stories. And so I always think, well, maybe if one of these kids at some point gets to a point where something's challenging them in their lives, they'll remember that crazy gray-haired lady who was talking about hula hooping and how she overcame something, or, you know, so I always think, maybe you never know where the journey goes, right? So that, my friends, is why I do what I do. And having this 2 emails show up in my email today made me think, all right, I'm gonna get out there, I'm gonna hula hoop, I'm gonna be with my WAHLS peeps, and I'm just gonna post this out, and I'm gonna put it on my Facebook, and I'm gonna put it in my YouTube channel, and it's gonna be a good day. So there, no music today, just me and my dog. She's actually adorable. Right now she's sitting at the bottom of the camera, hoping somebody inside will let her back in, because I think she's super fluffy. I also think she's a little bit hot. We were out on the front just a little while ago. I watered some flowers, and actually I watered some things I transplanted, because even though I have time to actually plant some flowers, I of course don't want to go get any, because that would require me talking to somebody or actually interacting with people, and I don't want to do that because flowers are not a necessity. So I've actually taken some of my plants that have like sprouted off and divided them and planted them in some other areas of my yard, and so that's fun, and I'm enjoying that. And I'm doing my very best beeping. I know she's not letting you in. I wish she would. It's okay. I'll let you in a minute. So those are some things I'm doing. I'm getting out on the sidewalk, I'm getting some fresh air, I'm going for walks with my husband, spending time with my daughter. We are playing board games and card games at dinner a little bit more than usual, because my daughter's spring break has gone a little bit longer. She is back to school next week, I believe April 1st, via online, so she will finish her senior year there. I'm super excited that she already has her ACE diploma, and so she was not one of the ones who needed one of these classes to get that diploma. I feel really badly for the kids who have been working super hard and needed to finish these classes and take some tests in order to acquire that diploma. I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. If you don't know what ACE is like an IB class or AP classes. They're courses of rigor, and it's a program that comes from Cambridge University. So Cambridge is dealing with this worldwide with students, and my heart goes out to teachers. I may have said this, but I recorded this a couple times, but my heart goes out to teachers who are navigating new ways to teach and integrate with people. And I think that is super challenging, because if you're a people person and you want to walk around and you want to, be with your kids and you want to see what they're doing and put them in groups and let them create and inspire, it's really hard to do when you only have a screen in front of you and you've never done this before. And I don't know how they're going to do it with elementary kids. It'll be more like a homeschool scenario, I think. I don't know, but my heart goes out to you. If you're in the teaching world and you're watching this, kudos to you for what you're doing for your students. And if you are a necessary person going out to your job every day because you're considered a necessary entity wherever you are, kudos to you. If you are on the front lines of this health battle, be safe, be distancing, be well. And that's all I can say. My shirt says be happy, be hooping, be awesome. My motto right now is be safe, be distancing, be well. And so as I wrap up this, I don't know, fourth take of my video, here's what I have to say to you. Be safe, be distancing, be well. And that's it. I'm coming back again. It's the weekend. I'm going to do some planning. I'll be back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week with 5 new videos, at least 15 minutes so you can hoop. I'm going to integrate some music into that. Again, my issues tend to be I can't use music and have the video get hung up because I don't have permission to use certain music. So I'm looking for some good online music that's free to work with, and that way I can have a little bit of fun in the background as well. But as we work through this together, I hope that I've made you feel that you are not alone and that I am with you. And so, whoop whoop, let's get that hoop out. And if you don't have a hoop, get your imaginary hoop out, friends. And we'll get you in a real hoop soon, all right? Tips, tricks, hints, we're working it all. Bye, peeps. Be safe, be distancing, be well.